but I want to make sure that we go over, first of all, I know Jeannie, you mentioned this morning that help group, and that's some information that I'm going to send out. There is a new support group for our biological families in the area, so I'll send out that information. I think they've had one meeting and it went really well, so I'm excited to have that group in the area. I also wanted to mention I met yesterday with Comprehensive Juvenile Services, and I know that you all are probably very familiar with them, but they have a new mentoring program, and they wanted me to mention that they're looking for mentors for that program. So if you all know of anybody that's interested in mentoring, they're looking at about an hour a week commitment to mentor youth through them. And so if you know of anybody that has an opportunity to do that, it's a really, really good program. And there is, I was going to mention a Hope Arc training. We've gotten quite a few new people on our Hope Arc system, which is wonderful because that's how we can get connected with everybody. And that training, there's a training Wednesday of next week, which is what, the 9th, I believe. Yes, the 9th at 1:30. There's a Hope Arc training. If there's anybody who's interested in hopping on that training and getting started on this system, just contact me and we'll get you started. As far as committees, Ms. Heather Sanders, do you want to mention the contact committee?
So we are not having a meeting for the month of December. Our next meeting is going to be in January. We did meet at the end of November. Right now we are still looking for new members to join our committee, working diligently to try to share all of the information and making sure that we're trying to put most of our notes in HARC so that we can start really communicating back and forth in that system, which really makes it a wonderful service for all of us. So if you haven't added any of us, please make sure you do add us to your profiles. I know that all of us are trying to make sure that we're keeping up with Heather and sending out emails to make sure that we share all of the new individuals that are hopping on. So that's a wonderful service. We will be meeting the second week of January. So if you're interested, please, you can send me a message in chat and I will add you to that message, to that meeting, or you can always email me.
Thank you, ma'am. Emily, are you still on here? Emily Treadaway? There she is. Good morning.
All right, I've been driving, but I pulled over.
Okay.
So we just met Wednesday, and I think things are going good. Everybody's getting connected to clients and stuff. I don't have any like major updates, but I know one of the case managers, Matt, came to the meeting, and we thought that might be a good idea to have them come. Maybe not every time, but there's just so much information. I think that would be helpful to the case managers because they could hear from the organizations themselves about all the different things that they do. And some of them, you know, like Arkansas Rehab Services, you know, Dana was kind of like, well, as long as it's the goal of employment, we can really help with all kinds of different expenses as long as we can relate it to employment. And so there's all different things, you know, that people don't really think about that they could help with. So, and a lot of our organizations are like that, where you think they do something, but they can, you know, each situation is different. So I think that would be helpful to get them involved. I think that's about it. We're always looking for people as well, just like Heather. So if you know anybody that would fit on the connection committee, we would love to have them. We are meeting the first Wednesday in January as our next meeting.
All right, and then the career committee is also planning to meet. Annie is the chair with Crawford County Adult Education, and they're planning to meet this coming week as well on Wednesday at noon. She hasn't sent out that invitation yet, but if you want to be added to that list, then let me know when we can get you that information as well. Because a lot happens in those committee meetings, and then a lot happens, you know, with each of your organizations outside of the committee meetings. There's a lot going on behind the scenes other than what we're getting together to talk about here during the week. And we've had, you know, I sent you all the updated flyers, so we've gotten a lot of response from that, and I'm excited to keep connecting to community partners and to the families as we continue. The next, excuse me, the next Alliance meeting is January 8th. The first Friday of January, I believe, is the 1st. And so, yeah, it's the 1st of January. So we're going to skip that day and we'll reconnect on January 8th. That meeting is going to be the opioid task force. So for anybody who'd be interested in getting some updates about what they've been working on, that'll be the next Alliance meeting. Did any of you have announcements from your agencies? Anything you want to share with the group? All right. Like I said, I know we're all busy, so I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy days this morning to.
Heather, can you hear me? Heather, this is Jennifer Hallam, and I know that you and I spoke perhaps a few weeks ago, and I got with my transportation guy. I wanted to let you guys know that I was able to secure a little bit of funding for transportation. Depending on where you want me to take people. Like if they want to go to the moon, I can only do that like half of the time. But if they just need to go from like somewhere from a rural area to Fort Smith, I could probably do approximately 30 trips. That would be either no cost, or what we discussed is having some kind of voucher system so we have accountability and that type of thing. But I did want to let you know that it's small, but we'll start there.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And Jennifer, I think she mentioned she's with Area Agency. So if you all have people, and I had a family in mind, and I'm still working with them. I had a family in Greenwood that was needing transportation for.
Well, and let me add this. My transportation guy was involved in an accident.
Oh, no.
He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So if you call in the next week, you might just call me.
Okay.
At my extension, if you have questions or want to talk further about it. He should be back perhaps, I hope, after that. So.
Okay. Yeah. So that'll be wonderful once we start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much.